In the chaotic rhythm of Mexico City, amidst blaring horns, bustling footsteps, and the blur of a million daily struggles, something extraordinary happened. A simple act, a moment of compassion, a ripple that became a wave of transformation. This is the story of Lucía, a girl whose life was hanging by a thread, and the woman who rewrote her destiny with nothing more than kindness. Stay with us, because sometimes it takes just one person to remind the world what it means to be human. Make sure to watch this video to the very end, cause what Lucía go through is very heart-touching. If this story moves you, give the video a like. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, so you will never miss an upload. Now, let's dive into the story. The air above Mexico City is thick, not just with pollution, but with the weight of millions of stories. On the third floor of an aging apartment complex above a shoe repair shop lived Lucía, 13 years old, her brown eyes wide with curiosity and weariness in equal measure. She shared the cramped space with her 6-year-old brother Mateo and their mother, Adriana. Life hadn't been kind to them. Lucía's father, once a truck driver with dreams of starting his own delivery business, had died in a tragic highway accident. The loss shattered the family, not just emotionally, but economically. The meager compensation paid by the company was gone within a year, swallowed by funeral costs, back rent, and basic survival. Adriana, once a quiet and radiant homemaker, transformed overnight into a warrior. She scrubbed tiles in other people's kitchens. She collected garbage at dawn and washed clothes by hand well past midnight. Yet, no matter how hard she worked, it was never quite enough. They often went to bed hungry. Lucía noticed the way her mother divided rice grains on their plates, the way she smiled at Mateo when he asked for more, pretending her own stomach was full. It broke something in Lucía, so she stopped eating breakfast. She saved her school lunch for Mateo. She lied to her teachers about stomachaches just to avoid the cafeteria. But the body has limits, even when the heart pushes beyond them. It was a Thursday. The sky was gray, heavy with rain, but not quite ready to release it. Lucía had stayed late at school, helping in the library to earn extra points. Her stomach had been empty since Tuesday morning. As she walked through Calle de Madero, a pedestrian street filled with vendors, tourists, and street musicians, her vision blurred. She didn't feel the fall. One moment she was upright. The next she was on the ground. Bags dropped. People stared. Some pointed. Others pulled out phones to record. Nobody helped, except one, a woman with a neat ponytail, cardigan sleeves rolled up to her elbows, and worry written across her face. "Lucía," she said, kneeling down. "Mi amor, can you hear me?" It was Ms. Rivera, her history teacher, a gentle woman in her 40s. Ms. Rivera had always noticed Lucía's quiet resilience, the half-finished homework, the empty lunchbox, the way she flinched when someone offered her food. She didn't wait. Calling over a cab, she lifted Lucía into her arms and rushed her to the nearest clinic. The clinic was small but clean. The nurse raised an eyebrow at the fainted child in the teacher's arms. After an 4 drip and some glucose, Lucía's eyes fluttered open. "Do you know where you are?" Ms. Rivera asked. Lucía nodded. Her lips quivered. The doctor spoke to Ms. Rivera privately. Blood sugar dangerously low. Signs of chronic malnutrition. Back at Lucía's bedside, silence stretched like a tightrope. And then the dam broke. Through sobs, Lucía told everything. About Mateo, about her mom, about the cold nights, the hunger, the fear. About pretending to be okay. About dreaming of becoming a scientist, but wondering if she'd even make it to 15. Ms. Rivera listened. She didn't interrupt. She didn't pity. When Lucía was done, Ms. Rivera took a breath, and then she said something simple. "Let me help." That evening, Ms. Rivera drove Lucía home, not to the apartment, to her own house, a modest but warm space. books on the shelves, a pot of soup on the stove. She set the table for 4, including Matteo and Adriana, whom she had called and invited over. Adriana arrived red-eyed, wringing her hands with worry. She expected judgment. She got kindness. They ate in silence at first, then in laughter. Ms. Rivera didn't just feed them. She gave them options. She contacted a local grocery cooperative and arranged monthly deliveries to their home. She worked with a school principal to secure full scholarships for both children. She found a clinic that offered free health checkups. Every month, she visited with groceries, school supplies, and most importantly, hope. With food in her stomach and the weight of shame lifted, Lucía began to transform. She studied with fury and passion. Her grades soared. She won science fairs. She stayed after class not because she had to, but because she loved to. Matteo began drawing again. He smiled more. Adriana, with fewer jobs to juggle, spent evenings reading to them. Years passed. Lucía was accepted to a prestigious university in Brazil on a full ride, studying biomedical engineering. She sent money home. Matteo grew up strong, inspired by his sister's resilience. Their apartment was no longer a prison of poverty. It was home. They bought a refrigerator, then a washing machine, then a couch. After her graduation, Lucía returned to Mexico City. She was 23, confident, brilliant, and the first thing she wanted to do? Visit Ms. Rivera. The woman who had changed her life was now retired. Her health had declined, but her eyes still sparkled. Lucía hugged her like a daughter with a mother. "You gave me more than food," she whispered. "You gave me back my future." Tears filled Ms. Rivera's eyes. That wasn't the end. Lucía began working with a nonprofit developing affordable medical devices for low-income families. To her surprise, she found herself working alongside Ms. Rivera's son, Daniel, a community organizer. Together, they created programs that connected educators with underprivileged youth. The legacy of one woman's compassion lived on. They say it takes a village. Sometimes, it just takes one person. One person to see what others ignore. One person to say, "Not on my watch." Ms. Rivera never wore a cape. She never sought recognition. But in the life of a hungry girl with tired eyes, she was everything. A teacher, a savior, a reminder that even in the harshest cities, there are hearts that still beat for others. When you lift one life, you change the course of many. Lucía's story is a testament to the power of kindness, of intervention, of community. To every teacher, mentor, friend, and stranger who chooses compassion, thank you, because sometimes the greatest lesson we can teach is love. If Lucía's story moved you, leave a red heart in the comments. Share this video with someone who might need a reminder that in a world full of noise, kindness still speaks loudest. And don't forget to like this story if it kept you hooked. Comment your thoughts. Was it love, power, or something else? Subscribe and turn on notifications for more real and emotional stories. See you in the next video.